Here on World Insight, we're into the last part in this program. If you just joined us, 30 minutes of all the news analysis. Also in the news, though, is Jon Huntsman, the former governor of the U.S. state of Utah. He spent his first week in Beijing as a new U.S. ambassador, which has surely been busy and exciting. Now, last weekend, the 49-year-old Republican and his family settled into their new official residence. The ambassador defined his top priority here as helping lay the foundation for sustainable growth in the region and in the global economy. The question, though, is this: why did President Obama, a Democrat, pick Huntsman, and what is Huntsman's connection to China?
After 7 months, the U.S. Embassy in Beijing has its new occupants. Last weekend, Jon Huntsman, the new ambassador, used his first public engagement to announce some exciting news.
We have the 30th anniversary of the U.S.-China relationship. We have, of course, the 60th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China. We have President Obama, who is going to be visiting in the middle of November. And so I'm here to tell you that by the end of the year, we should be in better shape than ever before between the United States and China to be able to anticipate a positive tomorrow.
But the Chinese media is not just interested in what he says, but also who he is.
To the 16th governor of the great state of Utah.
Huntsman was elected governor of Utah in 2004 and re-elected with 77% of the vote in 2008.
现在美国只有一个会讲中文的州长，那就是我。
The 49-year-old Republican previously served as ambassador to Singapore for a year and as deputy U.S. trade representative in the Bush administration. His relationship with China can be traced back more than 20 years, when President Ronald Reagan visited the country.
我第一次到中国大陆就是1984年，20年以前。那个时候我就是跟里根总统一起工作，我在白宫里面工作。他以前没去过大陆。
3 years later, Huntsman served as a Mormon missionary in Taiwan and began to learn Chinese. The China connection grew over the years. In 1999, Huntsman and his wife adopted a daughter from China. Gracie May was the name they gave to the little girl. Since then, Gracie May, whose Chinese name is Yang Le-Ying, has accompanied her father on several important political occasions. At Huntsman's confirmation hearing for ambassador in July, Gracie was there. A governor with managerial skills, plus Chinese language, a love of Chinese culture, and a Chinese daughter. Huntsman seems well suited to be Washington's man in Beijing.
Well, when his predecessor, Clark Grant, left office in January this year, Jon Huntsman was not even on the media's watch list. But when President Obama nominated him in May, many were surprised by his choice of a governor with little diplomatic experience.
Beautiful family, look at this. Look at them. Good morning, everybody. I am here to announce today the distinguished public servant I'm appointing as our nation's new ambassador to the People's Republic of China.
U.S. presidents rarely participate in an ambassador's nomination press conference, but this time Barack Obama stood together with his nominee. Why Jon Huntsman? Is it because the president wanted to reach across party lines for the Beijing assignment? A Chinese analyst says that's only part of the answer.
他手下的人吧，比如说最近刚任命的。
Now, U.S. Secretary of State Hillary Clinton is leading the China-U.S. strategic and economic dialogue, and she is also leading the Department of State by recommending many of her people to deal with Asian affairs. Wallace Gregson is Assistant Secretary of Defense for Asian and Pacific Security Affairs, and Kurt Campbell is Assistant Secretary of State for East Asian and Pacific Affairs. Obama wants his man, so by nominating Huntsman, the president can have first-hand information on China. So we see behind the nomination of Huntsman, Obama and Hillary, the White House and the Department of State are competing both openly and secretly for the diplomatic supremacy in Asia.
For Huntsman, leaving Utah and heading for China is a bittersweet choice. The governor has been viewed as a rising star in the Republican Party, thanks to his record of economic recovery and growth in Utah and to his moderate political views. With a 2-term cap on the governorship, Huntsman was already making steps toward a possible presidential bid.
Many political observers thought he had the potential to be the strongest Republican challenge to Obama, but the would-be president is at a career crossroads. Being a moderate Republican, he may also be supplanted by other Republicans. Heading for China will help him get more political capital in foreign diplomacy and also avoid being engulfed in the political maelstrom within the party.
And Huntsman is not the first to adopt such a strategy. In 1974, George Bush, Sr. left his post as chairman of the Republican National Committee to head the U.S. Liaison Office in Beijing. He wanted to get away from Watergate and burnish his foreign policy credentials. In his diary, he explained that places like London or Paris would benefit his political future, but Beijing would be a challenge. Bush felt a new China was emerging. Relations with China would be crucial to the U.S., not just to its Asia policies, but also to its global policies. It was on a bicycle that Bush got to know more about the country. His 14 months in Beijing afforded the future president the opportunity to enrich his global vision and forge personal friendships that matter in international relations. Will the ambassador experience do something similar for Huntsman?
I'm reminded of my favorite Chinese aphorism. It goes something like this: Hu xiang bang mang, hu xiang xuexi. Together we work, together we progress. This, more than anything else, I think captures the spirit of our journey going forward.
Huntsman has promised to take bilateral ties to new heights. But as ambassador, he faces a series of thorny issues in U.S.-China relations. Trade has always been a sensitive matter, and the U.S. continues to push issues of human rights. How to work together and make progress will be a challenging task for the ambassador, and in fact, for any future leader.
Well, let's finish off this story because analysts point out that being a fan of Chinese culture doesn't necessarily mean that Huntsman is a panda hugger. He represents U.S. interests on all issues. Now, relations between Beijing and Washington are important and, of course, complex. Perhaps the first step is to focus not just on the things that divide the two countries, but on what ties them together. With that, we come to the end of this program. As always, we'd love to hear from you. So between now and our next program, why not pop us an email with your comments and suggestions? Our address up on your screen now, worldinsight@cctv.com. I'm James Chow in Beijing. It's been great having you with us, and we'll see you at the same time next week for your insight on World Insight. Thanks for watching. Bye for now.